Good day, Zimbabwe.
Be reminded that the president is the only one elected by the whole nation as a constituent. In other words, he is the only person in the country elected by the entire country grouped as one constituency. All of us, we have our grateful corners of our constituencies. Be reminded.
Comrades, message yataurwa naVP Chiwenga yekuti president is the only one akaelectiwa yatotaura chimwe chinhu chandoda kuti unzwisise. One, varatidza kukoshesa constitution, bumbiro remutemo, because remember, unoenda kuelection chete nekuda kweconstitution. Pavati vakavhotegwa neZimbabwe nevana veZimbabwe, vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya paya, hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira kunge chichiitika kumberi, chinofanira kunge chichinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera, uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa? Vanhu vaya vari kuti VP Chiwenga vari kuisa zvimaklipi zvatiri kuona muno magrupu ati VP Chiwenga vaindoza kuti president udarikire 2030 inhema. Tererai nenzeve dzechimurenga muchanzwa clear message. Paipa pavati isusu vamwe vese vari panapa vachizama kutaridza kuti vamwe vese vari paipa havana basa bhozi havana kuelektiwa. Vari kuzama kutaura kuti kana agenda yekuti president vadarikire vachida, he is the only one anokwanisa kutaura kuti ndiri kukumbira kuti mundisvitse 2030. Of which tinoziva kuti president vakati havasi kuda. Saka musabvume kuti chisvideo chispiniwe. This is Comrade Isaac Makomichi. Ward 5 masvingo eben. Ndakambenge ndiri PC ba ndakazodzingwa angu tichibvunza nyaya dze2030 dzo dzinobenefita inini here kadzobenefita mbavha chete nevanhu vashoma. Right. Chimwe chandoda kuti unzwe. Papati pekuti vamwe vese vari munomu. Nepati yekuti vana veZimbabwe nepati yekuti vakavhoterwa vazama kuburitsa zviri pachena kuti varemind even everyone kuti president havana kugara paya nekuda kwavo asi vakagara nekuda kwevanhu. Vareminder everyone kuti vamwe vanhu vese vari muya vashoma, chero vakaita 50, chero vakaita 100, chero 1000 havagoni kudecidera the whole Zimbabwe. Saka musa misleadwa makomrade. Message ye yakatokwana and yakatosimba. And I salute him because varatidza respect kuna president. Vataura shoko reunity mumusangano weZANU-PF, shoko reunity kuwana veZimbabwe. Because president havana kuvhotegwa nevanhu veZANU-PF chete. Vakavhotegwa chero nevamwe vanhu vasina mapara, chero nevamwe vanhu veopposition. Saka varatidza kuunite musangano weZANU-PF nerespect kuna president. Mapanzwisisa. Saka it's a clear message yekuti whatever chinozofanirwa kuitika, chero dzikava nyaya dzesuccession, chero dzikava nyaya dzechi the povo ine basa inofanirwa kutotaura something mafungiro awo. Saka musazonzi nevanhu vanongoti tiri kugona kutoidai tikaidai nyaya yedu ikafamba nezvatoda zvisina kuinvolva constitution kana ruzhinji rwevanhu. Hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro. Ndo message vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira kunge chichiitika kumberi chinofanira kunge chichinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa?
Saka whatever chinofanirwa kuitika kumberi
is the only one
chinofanira kuinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera. Hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, ndiko vanhu vari kutaura zvese zvinoitika pano. Ngazvive zvevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanirwa kuitika kumberi.
Vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira kunge chichiitika kumberi chinofanira kunge chichinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa?
Hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, ndiko vanhu vari kutaura zvese zvinoitika pano. Ngazvive zvevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanirwa kuitika kumberi. vachitendera.
Vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya paya hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira kunge chichiitika kumberi chinofanira kunge chichinvhovha vana veZimbabwe vachitendera uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa? Vanhu vaya vari kuti VP Chiwenga vari kuisa zvimaklipi zvatiri kuona muno magrupu ati VP Chiwenga vaindoza kuti president udarikire 2030 inhema. Teererai nenzeve dzechimurenga muchanzwa clear message.
Unenzira dzemasoja dzekuzvibata nadzo, teererai mitemo yose nenzira dzakanaka tisavati.
Be reminded that the president is the only one elected by the whole nation as a constituent. In other words, he is the only person in the country elected by the entire country grouped as one constituent. All of us, we have our grateful corners of our constituencies. Be reminded.
Comrades, message yataurwa naVP Chiwenga yekuti president is the only one akaelektiwa yatotaura chimwe chinhu chandoda kuti unzwisise. One, varatidza kukoshesa constitution, bumbiro remutemo, because remember unoenda kuelection chete nekuda kweconstitution. Pavati vakavhotegwa neZimbabwe nevana veZimbabwe vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya paya hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira kunge chichiitika kumberi chinofanira kunge chichinvhovha vana veZimbabwe vachitendera uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa? Vanhu vaya vari kuti VP Chiwenga vari kuisa zvimaklipi zvatiri kuona muno magrupu ati VP Chiwenga vaindoza kuti president udarikire 2030 inhema. Teererai nenzeve dzechimurenga muchanzwa clear message. Paipa pavati isusu vamwe vese vari panapa vachizama kutaridza kuti vamwe vese vari paipa havana basa bhozi havana kuelektiwa. Vari kuzama kutaura kuti kana agenda yekuti president vadarikire vachida, he is the only one anokwanisa kutaura kuti ndiri kukumbira kuti mundisvitse 2030, of which tinoziva kuti president vakati havasi kuda. Saka musabvume kuti chividhio chispiniwe. This is Comrade Isaac Makomichi, Ward 5 Masvingo Eben. Ndakambenge ndiri PC ba ndakazodzingwa hangu tichibvunza nyaya dze2030 dzo dzinobenefita inini here kadzobenefita mbavha chete nevanhu vashoma. Right. Chimwe chandoda kuti unzwe. Papati pekuti vamwe vese vari munomu nepati yekuti vana veZimbabwe nepati yekuti vakavhoterwa vazama kuburitsa zviri pachena kuti varemind even everyone kuti president havana kugara paya nekuda kwavo asi vakagara nekuda kwevanhu. Varemind everyone kuti vamwe vanhu vese vari muya vashoma, chero vakaita 50, chero vakaita 100, chero 1000 havagoni kudecidera the whole Zimbabwe. Saka musamisleadwa makomrade. Message ye yakatokwana and yakatosimba, and I salute him because varatidza respect kuna president. Vataura shoko reunity mumusangano weZANU-PF, shoko reunity kwana veZimbabwe, because president havana kuvhotegwa nevanhu veZANU-PF chete, vakavhotegwa chero nevamwe vanhu vasina mapari, chero nevamwe vanhu veopposition. Saka varatidza kuunite musangano weZANU-PF nerespect kuna president. Mapanzwisisa? Saka it's a clear message yekuti whatever chinozofanirwa kuitika, chero dzikava nyaya dzesuccession, chero dzikava nyaya dzechi the povo ine basa inofanirwa kutotaura something mafungiro awo. Saka musazonzi nevanhu vanongoti tiri gona kutoidai tikaidai nyaya yedu ikafamba nezvatoda zvisina kuinvolva constitution kana ruzhinji rwevanhu. Hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro. Ndo message vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya paya hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira kunge chichiitika kumberi chinofanira kunge chichinvhovha vana veZimbabwe vachitendera uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa?
Good morning in Australia. What time is it over there? It's a very good evening to you, our viewers. Ministers, join us live on your news network, zimai.com. We have a video of the Vice President Constantino Chiwenga making an announcement today, or a pronouncement, that Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa is the only one who was elected. The only one who was elected. Everyone else is a constituency. This is what he said. And everyone else, Mungori Makos, answer India, Egachete. And now we have an analysis there by one of the former ward chairpersons for Mashingo, who is Isaac Makomichi. He's passing his commentary. His commentary is very, very controversial, but his commentary seems to weave in so well with the theme that Chiwenga is making there, and his commentary is um, Chiwenga is announcing that Mnangagwa must address the country. Mnangagwa anofana kuadresa nyika because ndiye ega akaelectwa. Dzimwe imbwa idzi ngadzinyarare. Are you hearing that? Muri kupaunzawo here papo. Iri kunyatsonzwika here shona because shona yakadzika. You see, in news, we don't just report the news. We have to report the insight, not just the news. I think President Emerson Mnangagwa said this when he was in Murambedzi. Aiwaka. Isinofana kudzika kuti President Mnangagwa meant this. He said this while meaning this. Because my politician vanotaura nechibhende. Ende ndiro game ravo kwese. Nana Trump ndozvavanoita izvo, vanongotaura vachingotenderera. Saka unozodawo munhu anozopinda ipapo anozokupa dudziro. Dudziro ndo rinozokupa pachirungu ndo inonzi iyo insight. Haikona kungoteerera news cheteka. Teerera zviri kutaurwa zvachona izvi kwete zvangoreketwa chete, but zvakomuniketwa, zvamapiwa, zvamapakurirwa ndozvaunofanira kuteerera, kwete kungoteerera zvango zvataurwa pamuromo chete. So basically this is what anzi dudziro inonetsa. Right. Saka regai timbonzwawo dudziro yava makomichi panapa paregai tivapinze also palive so that tingoikurukura nyaya yacho tikwanise kupiwa dudziro. Please tapot. Here we go.
He reminded that the president is the only one elected by the whole nation as a constituent. In other words, he is the only person in the country elected by the entire country grouped as one constituency. All of us, we have our grateful corners of our constituencies. He reminded
comrades, message yataurwa naVP Chiwenga yekuti president is the only one akaelectiwa yatotaura chimwe chinhu chandoda kuti unzwisise. One, varatidza kukoshesa constitution, bumbiro remutemo, because remember, unoenda ku-election chete nekuda kwe-constitution. Pavati vakavhotegwa neZimbabwe, nevana veZimbabwe, vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya, hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira kunge chichiitika kumberi, chinofanira kunge chichinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera, uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa? Vanhu vaya vari kuti VP Chiwenga vari kuisa zvimaklipi zvatiri kuona muno magrupu ati VP Chiwenga vaindoza kuti president udarikire 2030 inhema. Teererai nenzeve dzechimurenga muchanzwa clear message. Paipa pavati isusu vamwe vese vari panapa vachizama kutaridza kuti vamwe vese vari paipa havana basa bhozi havana kuelektiwa. Vari kuzama kutaura kuti kana agenda yekuti president vadarikire vachida, he is the only one anokwanisa kutaura kuti ndiri kukumbira kuti mundisvitse 2030. Of which tinoziva kuti president vakati havasi kuda. Saka musabvume kuti chivideo chispiniwe. This is Comrade Isaac Makomichi. Ward 5 Mashingo Eben. Ndakambenge ndiri PC ba ndakazodzingwa angu tichibvunza nyaya dze2030 dzo dzinobenefita inini here kadzobenefita mbavha chete nevanhu vashoma. Right. Chimwe chandoda kuti unzwe. Papati pekuti vamwe vese vari munomu. nepati yekuti vana vezimbabwe nepati yekuti vakavhoterwa vazama kuburitsa zviri pachena kuti varemind even everyone kuti president havana kugara paya nekuda kwavo asi vakagara nekuda kwevanhu. Vareminder everyone kuti vamwe vanhu vese vari muya muya vashoma, chero vakaita 50 chero vakaita 100 chero 1000 havagoni kudecidira the whole Zimbabwe. Saka musamisleadwa makomrade, message yeyo yakatokwana and yakatosimba, and I salute him because varatidza respect kuna president, vataura shoko reunity mumusangano weZANU-PF, shoko reunity kuwana vezimbabwe, because president havana kuvhotegwa nevanhu veZANU-PF chete, vakavhotegwa chero nevamwe vanhu vasina mapara, chero nevamwe vanhu veopposition. Saka varatidza kuunita musangano weZANU-PF nerespect kuna president, mapanzwisisa. Saka it's a clear message yekuti whatever chinozofanirwa kuitika, chero dzikava nyaya dzesuccession, chero dzikava nyaya dzechii, the povo ine basa inofanirwa kutotaura something mafungiro avo. Saka musazonzi nevanhu vanongoti tiri kugona kutoidai tikaidai nyaya yedu ikafamba nezvatoda, zvisina kuinvolva constitution kana ruzhinji rwevanhu. Hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro. Ndo message vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira nge chichiitika kumberi chinofanira nge chichinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa?
Saka whatever chinofanirwa kuitika kumberi
is the only one
chinofanira kuinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera. Hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, ndivo vanhu vari kutaura zvese zvinoitika pano. Ngazvive zvevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanirwa kuitika kumberi.
Vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira nge chichiitika kumberi chinofanira nge chichinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa?
Hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, ndivo vanhu vari kutaura zvese zvinoitika pano. Ngazvive zvevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanirwa kuitika kumberi chinofanira kuinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera.
Vazama kutaura kuti president kuti
My apologies, obvious witnesses. I'm hoping that people can hear the sound of my voice right now. Can people hear? Okay, thank you. I am trying to adjust one small thing here. Okay, thank you. Great, beautiful. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So we've just been listening to and watching a clip that was uploaded by the Ministry of Information today. And this clip is of the Vice President Constantino Chiwenga during a meeting that he had with his boss on the first day today. And this clip has been circulating with people suggesting that it means that Constantino Chiwenga has endorsed 2030. Are you one of those people? Ndimi vamwe here vari kuti ivo video riri kutenderedzwa pamasaisai nevakasiyana-siyana zvichinzi izvo Constantino Chiwenga azobvuma kuti Mnangagwa atonge kusvika muna 2030. Kana muri imi, simudzai maoko enyu muye pano tikurukure, nokuti pano tina analyst vakanga vari ward chairperson wemasvingo vanova Isaac Makomichi vari kukanda mashoko avo vachitipa yatingati isusu pachirungu analysis, vachiti irivo hazvisizvo. Musanyepegwe, teererai mashoko aya. Kwai teererai nenzeve yechimurenga. Pane chimwe chirungu chakadzika because ina handisi muzano, saka ndandinyatsoteerera so ndakati panapa panenge pari kutaugwa pano papa, neniwo ndakutoita semunhu wekumasvingo. right. Good evening to you, Hulu.
Good evening to you, Simba, and welcome everybody to Zimai Space once more again. And thank you, Zimbabwe. I hope this is yet another opportunity we're going to be sharing information happening around our country. So request a mic and send a message to our people. It is a developing story that Zimai is following, and many of you have been following as well. And it is just wonderful again that Zimai is on top of the situation and delivering the news to the people. So Simba, thank you very much. Zimai, we follow, and our people are here, and I hope that they are going to benefit a lot from the discussion as it goes on.
Oh, thank you very much, Hulu. I think we've got Makomichi in, actually, which is good. I was playing his audio, but now that he's in, we might as well bring him onto the speakers. Makomichi, munogona kupinda inyupa speakers apa. Monyaso tibatsira nedudziro renyu. Nokuti ndimatanga kunyatsokanda dudziro. Ndambotsvaga ndakashaya. Kuti ndiani chaizvo anogona kutipa dudziro. Nokuti ma politicians, do you know what? I don't like politicians, Hulu. Did you realize? Even some of my friends who are in politics, I want to be frank, I can't even stand 1 hour with them. Some of my closest people, some of them are already in power, some of them are now presidents, but I want to be frank, I can't stand them because you know, bend, and sometimes I want to be frank, I don't trust them because you just don't know what direction now say. And you know, especially when you're a journalist, you need to walk with your ears. Uchitereresa too much. It's as if they enjoy opaqueness or strategic ambiguity. Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. And Zimai is delivering this news. It is wonderful that Isaac Makomichi, Councillor Isaac Makomichi has just joined us. And it is also a pleasure to have for the first time, actually, Bishop Emmanuel Moyana, joining us as well. Simba, that the Sekuru Wanguga. And
wow. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. So Emmanuel Moyana is with us, and it is. I hope we are going also to hear his thoughts on the developing story that can. So for those who might not be knowing, unfolding in Zimbabwe on the ground every single day, every single minute, every single hour. We hear suspensions, we hear, statements. And now we are here listening, of course, to the statement made by the Vice President of Zimbabwe, VP Chiwenga. We know the type of work he did in 2017 to usher in the Second Republic under President E.D. Mnangagwa. At his inauguration, remember, at the National Sports Stadium in 2018, what he said to our people, that we are witnessing a new unfolding democracy. But today, I think many of you have heard from people such as Comrade Geza, a war veteran, speaking out from Machiboland to Mashonaland to Manicaland and many other provinces of Zimbabwe, expressing their disgust at what they believe is an unfolding dictatorship in our country. and many people, some are pinning their hopes on, Vice President Chiwenga, perhaps to step in and maybe learn from what has happened in Burkina Faso, what we have seen in Rwanda. Is it what is going to happen in Zimbabwe? So these are these are issues that we are going to be talking about here. And Zimai is of course the host, as you can see there. And welcome to the space for everybody that is joining us from across Zimbabwe and across the world, Africans. Thank you, because this is about our people, our country, and this is yet another day and another hour that we have to speak with each other. So, host, it is a wonderful opportunity to have Isaac McComish with us, and I'm eager to hear what he has to say. And I'm not very sure whether Bishop Emmanuel Moyana's speaker is still available to him, because I don't see the mic on him anymore now.
I think he's still here. He's still here.
Yeah, it can be network problems. We'll be able to check that. So, host, wonderful topic, really wonderful topic, and I'm here, and let's move with it. So, Isaac McComish, welcome to the space. The host is here. Take over, Simba.
Right,
yes, Murgunzugawa Makomichi. Yeah, beautiful. I don't know if we can start. We might as well start, because when you kata Makomichi, yeah. Beautiful, yeah. Saka Makomichi chimboti tsanangureo panapa kuti mufungo yenyu muri kuzvifambisa sei, amusi muri kuda kungokuwedzera here. We've been tanga tichiridza panapa audio yenyu, and zviri kunzi panapa makusona mabhodhoro, ndanga ndichitanga tichitotukwa kana mamacheka kumacomments zvikanzi koma zvaona kupi makutaura fake news panapa.
Right.
Sorry, Mr. McComish, sorry about
yes,
that. First, if I may just suggest as well that you may have to mix, Shona and English.
Oh, yes, I apologize. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, absolutely.
On the story, and they may not hear Shona if Mr. McComish is going to speak in Shona completely. So, however, you can still speak in a language that makes you comfortable, Mr. McComish. We are still listening. But if it is possible here and there, you may need to also say it in English to assist,
in English,
our audience. But
absolutely, thank you for that.
You can explain who you are. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for having me, guys. The first thing, I just want to address this space just as Isaac McComish, not as an official, as a party member or this and that. The first thing, Chandoda Wanimimunz we say, VP Chiwenga is not fighting the president, and the president is not fighting VP Chiwenga. The only problem that we have now is that we have some people who are thieves, some people who are criminals, some people who have their personal interest, some people who are losers. So, they want to create divisions pakati pema leaders edu. Unozati nindanga ndiri ZANU-PF PC ku Ward 5 masvingo eben. But pandakabvunza kuti this slogan inonzi 2030 president wachitonga yakanakira chii, I was fired. Kuti nekuti ndaka insult anyone, but I just asked it. Kuti, is this thing going to benefit the rest of the nation, or is it going to benefit ZANU-PF, or is it going to benefit even myself, or it can go benefit some certain individuals? And I got fired because of those questions. Saka chichiri kuitika chandoda kuti muzive. VP Chiwenga na president Idi Mnangagwa, they are one people. But vanhu vari kupinda pakati, they are the ones vari wrong. Do you know that tine vanhu vari kupusha agenda ye 2030 vachiita tumwa nevanhu, but vakaluza primary election, vamosha vakatojiwa ka2, vaitojiwa nevanhu vanofamba netsoka vasangana mota asangana ma-resources ekukambena. Then the same people, they are the ones who are now saying the people vatituma to beg the president to continue until 2030. Vanhu vari kunyepa because kana iwo wakawana less than 2,000 votes primary election, akakudya akawana 8,000. Iwewe unozotinda tumwa nevanhu vanawo uri kuvawana kuti we have my comrades here in Masvingo kuti patakavhota tiri pawadi akaita vanhu 2 avhota ka3 kuri kuti imwe yacho 3 vote maybe akatobirirwa kuti akavhotera umwe munhu kuti akakwanisa kuvhota munhu ovhotegwa nevanhu 2 that person ndiye uzoti Masvingo urban yati zvakati saka these are thieves vari kuda kudivide president Idi Mnangagwa naVP Chiwenga but vanava vanhu vakabatana. Then ndakuenda go straight to the point about the audio amamshitimanzwa mumagroup yandandichitaura kuti ndichiclarifya kuti VP Chiwenga vanga vachiti chii. The first thing chandiri proud of VP Chiwenga vari kudzidzisa respect kuti we have to respect the head of the state vanova his excellency. Ndiri kunzwika here?
No. Yes, we can hear you perfectly. There's somebody that is joining in as a speaker who is interrupting there. I'm not sure who it is because we have Bishop Jerry Moyana, Emmanuel Moyana also on the speakers, but I don't think he's speaking at this particular moment because Shabalala also coming up. So Mr. Isaac Makomishi, very sorry about that, but you are loud and clear. And thank you for mixing there, Shona, and English for the sake of our international audience, but we will be also interpreting to those who cannot hear Shona what you have, some of the main points that you are making. But it is a pleasure to have, we have got Isaac Makomishi speaking from Masvingo right now. And thank you for joining Zimai. And Isaac Makomishi, please go ahead.
So the audio andichitaura about the video rataurwa naVP Chiwenga, he was talking about the people and the constitution and the rule of law. Nekuti vataura vakati President Idi Mnangagwa is the only elected person. This is the general is talking about the constitution, the vote, the will of the people. So for you to get it, you have to listen with more than just nzeve. Unofanirwa kuvhura nzeve dzichimurenga. Unofanirwa kunzwisisa kuti this message iri kunyatsokommunicate kuti kudii. Saka president pavati vice president pavati President Mnangagwa is the only one vakaelectiwa. Vari kuzama kuti even pakuda kudarikira 2030 president ndo vega vanokwanisa kuti ndikuda kudarikira kana hatisida kudarikira. Vanga vachizama kuti vamwe vanhu vese vari papa they cannot represent the whole Zimbabwe. Ndosaka papa vanga vachitaura kuti Zimbabwe yakakufana tongoiti constituency 1. Vanga vachizama kuunite the whole Zimbabwe kuti tese takabatana sevana veZimbabwe. We voted for ED. Saka for ED to be the president, it is because of the people. He was voted by the people. So some certain individuals, whether they are MPs, they are ministers, they cannot decide for us because they are not the only ones vakavhota for the president. Saka that message yange ichilida ichitaura kuti vanhu ngatirespect the head of the state. Uyezve ngatizive kuti whatever chinenge chichiitika Zimbabwe inyika yevanhu. President vakaiswa nevanhu. Because remember, for his excellence kuti vange vari paposition iyaya havana kuzviisa vega, he was voted by the people. Saka to our surprise, some certain individuals vanongozouya vachiti isusu taakuti zvakati just to impose their point of views. We cannot live in a nation yekuti some people yekuti vanenge vari about 500 or 1,000, they just come about, you know what guys, we are doing this and that and that. Saka that way rangari unity among the parties and PF, rangari a show of respect to his excellence Idi Mnangagwa, yangari way to unite the whole nation as Zimbabwe. Vanhu vaya vanga vachizotaura magroup vachiti VP Chiwenga vabvuma kuti president vachidarikira 2030. Those people, they are just bootlickers, they are just liars, they are just thieves, they are just corrupt individuals. Shavanongodaiwo chete kupusha their selfish interests. Like I was saying earlier, we have vanhu vekuti akaluza primary election, and then because of maybe your qualifications or because of andizivi, then you got a minister, you become a deputy minister, or you end up name office. This is to say you don't have people. Saka vanhu vaya zvavanozoita manje, they don't have any option kunzwa kuti vatoti no, you know what president, mufanira kuramba muripo, maramba muripo isusu torongoramba tiripo. But manje chakunetsa ndechekuti if you question them, their only their only way to respond to is either they threat you, they victimize you. For a record, ndakaiswa messages akawanda magroup izitokura chakusungisa uchafuremerwa mosha uchaitwa say this and that by just asking. But guys, the president said, I'm not going to continue. I just want to retire in 2028. Then you ask them, but the president says that and you are saying this. Then the next thing, they victimize you. And their only answer, you know what, those guys, they are running out of answers. Do you think what you are going to go for a referendum? So these guys, they are the ones who are good divide the party. But it says ZANU-PF need to go to Zimbabwe and Ari party Ari Nengo ZANU-PF. There's unity in ZANU-PF. President Idi Mnangagwa and VP Chiwenga and VP Moad and even some of the ministers vana vakabatan. But take a problem kuti tinembafa dzakanyanyisa mapoliticals kuti they just want to rely on handouts. Saka they know kuti tikatadza kuputika zvinhu zvinotoita pamahwani. Saka that message video raari kusekeleteswa nevanhu, they just want to make their point, which is very wrong. One thing, the VP is not fighting the president. The president is not fighting the VP. These guys, they know each other. But the thieves around, the ones that we have here in Zimbabwe, those thieves, they are the ones who are push their selfish interests. Saka iwo ukabvunza, for example, pandakadzingwa inokabvunza kuti am I going to benefit because of this thing chekuti president asvike to 2030? Obva watonzwa wakudzingwa. Why do you fire someone who is just us respect? They have to fire us because they are selling us something chavanoziva kuti it's not going away. So if you ask them, they start to threat you. Kune vamwe havo vanenge vachinzi vati president zvakati vanenge vatuka president. Of course I understand kuti vanogona kudzingwa because unenge watadza kurespect head of the state. What of someone akatiwa ngenino wekuti abvunza kuti guys, this whole thing I'm not seeing any benefit kwandiri nini, chakanakira chi? The next thing you got fired. Saka chandiri kuzama kutaura simba kuti nzwisise. The only problem that we have imbavha vanhu vanoziva kuti one vakaluza maprimary elections havana maconstituents. Saka vanenge vakuziva kuti kumberi uko manje ndisadiwi nevanhu ko zvinozoita sei. Saka the only trick, the only card that they can play ndeyekuti election ngaiende mberi, so that vanogona kumbotsvaga seda, vanombotsvaga vanhu kana vanga vari mbavha vari kukonya nekuba kana kuti vanoshandisa their opportunities, I don't know. But one thing for sure, they are the ones vari kuita kudhara division party. And the bad part of the thing, if you make a point, a clear point yekuti unonzwisisa kuti makomicha apa hasi kutuka munhu hasi kunisa kuti even everyone, they don't listen to you. They just victimize you, they just attack you, they just threat you. It doesn't matter kuti you are making point rakaita se unoziva kuti ndakataura mafacebook tikaramba tichipusha kuti president vadarikire tichatsamwisa vanhu because vanhu vari kuti pamaikambira kuti voterai president vakavapisa zvakati nezvakati. Those promises, they are yet to be fulfilled. But now tikazouya takuti takuda kuti president vaextend vari papower, vanhu vachakwesena kuti but vanhu ava zvavakatokumbira kuti tivavhoterere kured havasati vazviita. Now they just want to extend power. Vanhu vachaona as if hatina basa nawo. Ndozvandaitobvunza izvozvo. But wabvunza izvozvo ndaitofunga kuti maybe kana wabvunza achatozotsanangura kuti ashazvo zvakamira zvakadai. Then the next thing, they fire you without even procedure. Unofanira wanyora WhatsApp, unofanira kuti wase, they just kick you out as long as you ask them. Or if you make a point, they don't care whether your point is valid, your point is useful, or your point is evil. They don't care. If we just ask this word, okay, you can ask.
Yeah. So, Mr. McComish, I think you are making a very, very good point there, and people are following. I just want to make sure that our audience can also be able to ask you questions. At the end, but in your submission, if you can try to summarize in about 2 minutes before I can ask people who are on the speakers to join you, and ask you some questions. I just want to play a video from of the speech of the president. I want to apologize. The audio quality seems to be not so 100%, but then, well, we can always try. So hopefully you are going to hear what the president had to say at the same meeting. Mr. McComishi, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. So this is our audience. Thank you for joining Zimai. This is a Zimai space, and thank you for joining me, Hulu, at Pajisto Life. And then we are, of course, in conversation with Isaac McComishi, and he is giving us information with regards to the developing, unfolding story, revolution maybe in Zimbabwe, and what is going on in the ruling party ZANU-PF and the Second Republic led by President Edi Mnangagwa. So President Edi Mnangagwa had an opportunity to meet the VP today, and this is what he had to say. Please listen up.
So sorry, Hulu, before.
Right. So, Mr. Isaac McComish, I'm not very sure whether you heard because the audio quality is not. Just summarize to say the president basically here did not speak about individuals. We have said that, you know, the president himself has said he is not angling for the 2030, and which is very true. We heard it several times, the president saying that. But unfortunately, we are having these thoughts that you are talking about, Makorokoza and all these other things, these other people that are pushing for the 2030 agenda because they have got no support among the people. And the 2030 agenda can only be the stepping stone for them to reach the 2030, Mr. Makomichi. But now, what happens is that today, many people expected the president to restate that, to mention the fact that I am not angling for 2030. Those who are calling for 2030, please stop. And now he has not said it. And many people are saying, this is his baby, this is him pushing these people. I mean, to say these things. What do you have to say, Mr. Isaac Makomishi, when you hear such kind of allegations? Please go ahead.
To be honest with you, from my own point of view, the president, with his heart, I think his main agenda is to develop the economy of Zimbabwe. Saka video clip ramaplayer iri vanga vachizama kutaura kuti vanhu vari kuda kudzosera development kumashure ndo vanofanirwa kunge vachimisiwa. Who are these people vanofanirwa kudzosera development kumashure? I think kuti if you have the why, later on you also ask the who. Saka, as of now, I think his message is clearly stating kuti his agenda ndeyekuti andinasanga achiadresa ma-provincial ministers kuti each province minister anofanirwa kuenda achinomeka sure kuti kuprovince kwakwaita development. Saka now kana vachitaura matauriro avaita ava ndinoona sekuti vari kuona kunge pane mamwe ma-provincial ministers vekuti havasiri kufokasa kana kuti pane vamwe vanhu vari kumaprovince havasiri kufokasa nedevelopment. Zvavakuita zvakuundermine development yakaitwa nenew dispensation. Saka to my own point of view, I think he's also talking about the 2030 slogans. Why am I saying that? Once tatanga kuita slogan yekuti 2030 ngavaramba vachitonga, takuratidza kuti takuda kufocus on power. But if you focus on power, tetabe mu election mode. Once we engage in election mode, we cannot be able to develop
Sorry, somebody's Martin. Martin, can you please mute your mic, Martin? Isaac McComish is speaking. We are going to come to the speakers shortly. Martin, we can assist you to mute your mic. If you are going to be disruptive, we're going to drop you to the listeners. Martin. Martin, I'm going to remove Martin from the speakers if he's not going to behave himself. Okay, Martin has dropped. Yeah. So Isaac Makomichi, sorry about that. I hope you didn't lose your train of thought. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are on the speakers, do not come on the speakers to be disruptive. We want to listen. We want to have an open discussion like others. So, Mr. Gunje, again, your mic is on. Switch off your mic, Mr. Gunje. Right, we are going to drop him also as well. We are going to remove him from the speakers because he's becoming disruptive. Isaac McCormick, I hope you have not lost your train of thought there. Briefly, before I go to Bishop Emmanuel Moyana, the founder of the Emmanuel Global Church, he has joined us as well, and I would like to hear his thoughts on this developing story. So, Isaac McCormick, you were talking. Please go ahead. Sorry about the interjection.
Saka ndatichiti nini vanhu vari kutoandamaina legacy yemukuru, vanhu vari kuda kuita turn the people against his excellence Idi Mnangagwa. Who are these people? They are those people vari kumanya neslogan ku-extend power vachitoziva it's not a secret that the economy is not performing that well. Of course, the president is doing his best, but who are these people? On my own point of view, anga vachinzi vari kunge vachiita kuti vari kutarisira pasi kuti vanenge vachidzosera kumashure development yakaitwa ne-Second Republic. They are the people varinge vachitena the public against the president, because now we have so many serious issues that singadi kuti tivanzirane kana kuti tinyeperane. Ndikakuudza kuti nini makore anawo kuti ndakamboshandira ndakaguma kushanda hameno kuti rini. Tine macompanies ari kuvhara zvinozikamwa nemunhu wese. Tine economy iri kurwadza zvozikamwa nemunhu wese. Kuma-hospitals kumachizvo zvakaoma zvozikamwa nemunhu wese. Saka vanhu vari kuandamaina basa rakaitwa nemukuru kana tiri kuitwa nemukuru, they are the people vari kuda kutena vanhu against mukuru vachitaura kuti isusu tiri kuda chi kuda kufonobohwa. Ndoda kukuudzai hakuna chinhu chinobohwa kudarika vhotera munhu wamovhotera wofunga kuti now this is the correct time yekuti zvaakativimbisa zvichiitiwa, and then uona someone achiti no zvaakakuvimbisa zviya hazvimborina basa, chimbonyarira izvozvo timbotaura zvekuextenda power. Just imagine kuti unenge unoziva kuti nini. I want to be honest with you, I've been a pastor for a long time. Nditori nevanhu vaitouya kuchechi kwangu yeopposite but vakarega vakabuda chechi vachiti uyu munhu weZANU-PF. Unoziva kuti tine machechi muno mutaundi, vanhu vakawanda muno vanenge vari opposite, vanhu vakawanda vakabuda muchechi vachiti uyu pastor ndeweZANU-PF. Tikiti no, even vanhu vakabuda, but once the president vawina vachazadzisa zvakati nezvakati nezvakati. Saka panguva yatete akutaura kuti no guys, president zvavakativimbisa zviya we have lost a lot tichiti tichimhanyisa rapresident. Izvi zviri kupinda mutaura onzi munhu wezanu, and we benefit nothing, not even data chairo, not even chivi kana munda kana not even anything. Saka takaluza a lot kudaro ndopatiuzama kuti no guys, of course vamwe vanogona kupiwa zvimwe zvinhu tikatadza kupiwa is fine, but takutaura kuti zvekuti president zvatakakambira tichiti vari kuti zvakati ngavachizadzisa. Wadaro manje wabvunza, you become a threat. Wakutozi no, that's dangerous.
All right, Isaac Makomichi, sorry. It seems like Bishop Emmanuel Moyana's network is playing games, so maybe I might just need to put him here to speak on ZMI Space, and see if he can manage to speak, because he's dropping and coming up again, but your network seems to be very stable, Isaac Makomichi. So do you mind if I can just give an opportunity to Bishop Emmanuel Moyana of the Emmanuel Global Church to engage with you and here on ZMI Space? Is it fine, Isaac Makomichi?
Yeah, it's fine, no problem.
All right. So ZMI, this is the first time Bishop Moyana is speaking on ZMI Space. And Bishop Moyana, I hope.
No, he's actually been around for a while. So
yeah. Okay. I mean, for me to hear him, contribute. To the spaces where I'm at. It's my first time. But anyway, it's fine. So Bishop Emmanuel Moyana, welcome to the space. And Isaac Makomichi was making a statement there. And you have an opportunity, Zimbabweans are listening to you right now. We have, of course, an unfolding story in Zimbabwe about the 2030 agenda. And some people already now saying there are two centers of power between the president as well as, we have, the vice president and the president. Sorry, someone was just sending me a message. I was reading that message and I was getting a bit confused. But okay, so Bishop Moyana, what is your take when it comes to the developing story? Do we have two centers of power? What do you think is the future for Zimbabwe at this particular moment? Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Simba. Thank you so much, Hulu, for having me on this program. Possibly, I would want to start by saying we definitely have two centers of power in Zimbabwe, and whatever sentiments that are being aired by the two, the president himself and his deputy, these are just ways of managing each other. And I want to believe this is a strategy that has been put in place because definitely both parties are covering the ground in terms of engaging with people from ZANU-PF, and I think we now have two cliques in ZANU-PF, and we cannot run away from that. And I would want to agree to some extent to what Isaac is saying, but certainly there are a lot of other issues that I think is also not, looking at, especially when he was right from ZANU-PF himself. That really shows that there's a clique that was not during that time. Agenda. So for me, I believe that this is just a strategy that has been put in place to make sure that.
Horst, is it only me? It seems like Bishop Moyana.
No, I think his network is struggling. Yeah.
Bishop Moyana, I'm not very sure if you can still be able to hear us. And Isaac Makomichi, you may have to mute your mic when somebody else is talking. Yeah. So Bishop Moyana, you are now on the listeners. I think you can now hear us. We were following on what you were saying. Unfortunately, your network did not allow, you may probably have to come back again and then we can listen over to you. So Isaac Makomichi, thank you for that. We have also Sister Comfort down from Washington, D.C. She's here with us and she might need to engage with you and, of course, with the audience. And, again, thank you, everybody, for joining at Zimai. As this is Zimai Space, thank you for joining Zimai and following the news from Zimai. And thank you for following me as well at Hulu, at Pachiso Live. Hulu at Pachiso Live. So, Mendes, we see you. Isaac Makomichi is still with us. SMD, we see you. Sister Comfort Donor, welcome to the space. How are you today?
Thank you. Come on.
Sinodakara taita. Buyaitiswe.
I think it's on better. We've been hearing a lot on the speech that the Vice President of Zimbabwe, General Constantino Chiwenga, gave at the Heroes Acre, and how that speech is being perceived in some ZANU-PF circles. I listened to my brother, Comrade Isaac Makomichi, speaking. And I think he did a good job. I'm sure I have got this member, but I think we definitely, as the ordinary Zimbabweans, as the civilians, we can see we knew there's factions in ZANU-PF, but now we are seeing it at the top. And so we are seeing that those tensions. I think for me that's just the point that I want to bring up. I was also very surprised to see a minister ICT, actually the young women for ED, although there were some young men in there as well. I was confused by that, but they were singing, almost a rhetoric that is going against the vice president. And then at the same time, on a shrine, on a holy shrine, where where our forefathers who bled for our country are being buried, where we're supposed to be so divine and be revered with such respect. One side is singing Chiwenga munomuvengerei zvanga zviri pajekerere Koma Isaac, and so to say there's no tension, to say vakuru they are united, indeed kana dai ndiri mwana izwa mai nababa vachirovana in the next room vozobuda vachiti honey, we love each other, mai vaine blue eye, although I mean it metaphorically. We ask what is going on, so that is I think for now that's my submission. We definitely know that there is tension because it's beginning to show at the top. The elephants seem to be fighting it. As here on the grass, we're feeling it. So that's my contribution for now. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sister Comfort on the host. What is your take at this particular moment? Zimai, what do you think? Because Isaac McCormick's network is very good, which is very nice. And we want to thank you, fellow Zimbabweans, Africans, and people of the world for joining Zimai. And the discussion continues. So, host, what is your take at this particular moment? You've been listening attentively.
Thank you very much. I'm listening with curiosity at the difference between what Makomichi is saying here and what Dr. Moyana is throwing, and what I don't seem to get is the third voice, and I think our audience require a bit of more than just these two giving us their views. And if we could have, I've just sent the invite to one or two authoritative voices inside ZANU-PF. I'm talking about people who have names and faces here that are a little bit senior, that whatever they say can be taken into account. I don't know if they'll come. It looks like Varkuchkaku Grillo. And so they seem to be hiding behind their Twitter handles. So like this morning, we had Nick Mangwana and his team at the Information Ministry posting pictures of Mnangagwa looking really forlorn. I mean, you could see the face. The face was not, perhaps it's just pictures, when you look at them, you would want to first take precaution and just say, well, they are just images. Like anyone can have an image taken. You could be laughing and then someone just takes a frame during the laughing that where your face looks as if you were now angry or you were now afraid. And so the first instinct would have been, oh well, these are just pictures. But then there were three of the same mood of a message from the facials of Mnangagwa, and the only person who looked in the pictures who was way more confident, who was gesticulating, who was even looking as if he is passing orders, was Chiwenga. And when you compare those pictures with those that you see on Sunday, when Chiwenga was interviewed outside a church service and a church mass, and where he was portrayed as a Constantine or Constantine or Paul, remember? Constantine, the emperor, the reformer, who changed the pages of history. I think we've got one or two religious preachers here who could help us on what that was. The portrayal seems to be too repetitive and consistent that Chiwenga is now the president. I mean, talking about the messaging from both the state media and the information ministry. It's kind of theming. I mean, what I'm saying here, if Simba Chikanza was there, right? If Simba Chikanza was there, you would not see Simba Chikanza being portrayed in such a confident note. Anotoratidzwa Simba Chikanza achita senga akuda kufa, or arikurwara, or I mean, look, because they have to do that. I mean, if you go and check my name, go and search Simba Chikanza in the Herald, you can even see the text that is there, the pictures. Simba Chikanza must go down. So it's like they're literally saying Pasina Simba Chikanza. So it's like Herald, am I wrong? Since Sunday is proclaiming thematically Pasina Mnangagwa Pamsoro out Pamberi Pambili Lo Chiwenga. Right. So if we could have a third voice, that would help. But anyway, I think let's move to the next person who maybe take over, because yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we will definitely have a diverse view of ideas. And Isaac McCormick, thank you for sticking around, because of course we want to engage with you. So here we have Mendes, who has joined us, and Mendes might give us something also to ponder on. And Bishop Moyana is back on the speakers. SMD, I still see you. Marvin Kenneth, I see you. Mike Mate, I see you. Mukutiwa, I see you. I will be bringing you up shortly to speak. Mendes, please go ahead. Isaac McCormick is here, and welcome to Zimai space. Go ahead, please.
Oh, thank you, my brother Ulu. Simba, how are you, and all the speakers, listeners?
Oh, well, thank you, brother. Great to see you. Great to see you, brother.
Isaac, are you a ZANU-PF person?
Mendes, I'll suggest, Isaac, I'll suggest that you make a submission rather than to have a back and forth with Isaac, because we need to have a little bit of, we have a little bit of speakers waiting to speak. So the moment you are going to have a back and forth, we might delay.
I'm not gonna have it. I just wanted to find out, because you said this is your panelist who is here, so I just want to understand where he belongs. Okay. First of all, I know I was listening to his submission when you were saying people running from his church. Being a pastor, the Bible, if you go in the Bible, like he has to understand that being a pastor, I can reference you to Isaiah 1 verse 17, that God is justice for the oppressed. So the moment you are a pastor and you yourself are on the side of an oppressor, that's why people are running from you. And I'm surprised everybody who goes to church, you guys, you know the Bible very well. And you know people are oppressed in Zimbabwe. And you come and stand for the wrong people who are oppressing Zimbabwe. This is the problem we have with pastors in Zimbabwe. You see, it's better to say I'm not a pastor, I'm a coward for the regime. Because you see, the problem which we have is people in Zimbabwe, they will be seeking refuge. And the pastors, the pastors before even Chiwenga, pastors are the people who were actually advocating for Chiwenga so that people can be freed. And now when your pastors come here, I won't listen to you, because there's a problem that yourself, you are siding with an oppressor. And you come and stand here and complaining that people are running away from you. Yeah, people run away from you because they know we are oppressed. You, Isaac McCormick, I would expect you to stand on the right side with the people. And it's very wrong for you to say that Mnangagwa was voted by all Zimbabweans. No, he was not voted by all Zimbabweans. And we know those elections were not free and fair. Guys, you know what I'm saying? Right now, we got Blessing Geza. He's actually a ZANU-PF, very senior person in ZANU-PF. He's saying that things are not done right. And even yourself to think that Mnangagwa achieved anything. I went on your page, Isaac. I saw that you are also saying, Mnangagwa, we can't afford Magets. Magets you cannot afford. Those Magets are not even available. They were promised. He has failed.
we have to come to a situation we know that ZANU-PF has failed. Right now, we don't have a currency in Zimbabwe. Right now, investors are running away from Zimbabwe. If we don't go on the same side to correct Zimbabwe, we are doomed forever. Forever. And I'm telling you, especially people, my pastors in Zimbabwe, they say those are the people who must be in the forefront to say no. People must have freedom in Zimbabwe. People must have this is right for Zimbabwe. And a Magwaro Bible, not I mean, and I would rather expect anybody who say, I'm just a Zimbabwean, not a pastor. I won't come for you because I know probably you don't know the truth about the reality of life. Pastors, we expect you to be moving exemplarily in front and doing what is right for humanity. It's better not to put yourself as a pastor. You are actually in the eyes of God. You are committing a biggest crime and the sin before God. Because I'm saying you, with what was happening in Zimbabwe, we expect people in leadership in the churches. Because remember, you are a pastor, you've got a congregation you look after. Those people, you want them to come and put money in the church, and those people are suffering.
Yeah, but Brother Wender's there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair.
Let me.
To be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let me
to be fair. To Brother Isaac McComichi, I think everybody has a right to belong to any political party.
No. I didn't stop him to belong to that.
It may be, listen to me, it may be a little bit unfair for you to concentrate on his pastorship instead of concentrating.
No, I have to, because you see, listen, Hulu, the moment we do that, even myself, when you see me coming here, I didn't tell him not to leave ZANU-PF, no. But if he's in ZANU-PF, he must tell the truth to the leadership. That's what I'm trying to tell him. That what you are doing to the Zimbabwean people is wrong. You, Hulu, you are ZANU. You always argue ZANU-PF to do the right thing by the people of Zimbabwe. You know what I mean? Whenever you say that, I resonate with you. But myself, if you now stop me to tell Isaac that they have to stand for the truth and come and lie to Zimbabwean people, it pains us a lot. I'm just going to take 1 minute and I'll be done soon. I'm not attacking him. I'm just trying to make sure that what he stands for before God, it must translate in his life when he's doing his contribution. Because he was saying that he's going to develop, that guy has failed. Let's acknowledge where there's failure. Let's acknowledge when there's something which has been done. Right now, if the reason I'm giving this example is we cannot keep on idolizing somebody who is the elected person. He was elected by Zimbabwean. Zimbabwean will remove him also. So don't stop people to remove him when we say he has failed. He has failed dismally. Right now, even Isaac, yourself, we got other people, my pastors who are mad, where are the morals? And that money is stolen money. So, I mean, if we don't echo and say it to Huluga, and these people who keep on coming and not even respecting Zimbabweans. If it was an ordinary person like some other people who are Rakash, I understand. But when you got a post of something leading a bunch of people in the society, we can put you to task to know what you are doing is wrong. Because we need people in leadership. Because in Christianity, myself, I'm a Christian. Although you go to churches, people who are in Christianity, the pastors, the everybody, they must live by example and doing the right thing. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I appreciate you for giving me this time. Simba, thank you. Olo, thank you. I'm gonna drop, but I'm just saying.
You may have to wait because we have got a lot of bishops here who are going to be speaking today. We are also going to be having Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga coming up. We have Bishop Emmanuel Moyana on the speakers as well. And we have got Isaac McComish, of course. So, Wenders, you may need to hang on a little bit
Let me see if the numbers.
Yeah, I'll hang on, and then I'm gonna compile my verses in the Bible, and then they can answer to that, because there's so many verses about oppression. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is, Bishop Kevin, I see your request. I'm going to be bringing you up shortly, but I have got 10 people on the podium, as you can see. So I'm unable to bring you up at this particular moment without dropping somebody. So I'm just going to give somebody an opportunity to speak, and then we go back to Isaac McComichi, and then I'll be bringing up Bishop Kevin to make a submission. So let me just go to SMD. SMD, welcome to the space. How are you today? SMD, welcome to Zimai space. How are you today? Right, so SMD is not able to speak. So I'm going to drop SMD to the listeners, and I'm going to bring up Bishop Kevin. So Bishop Kevin, I'm bringing you up now. Okay. Right, and those others that are requesting, we're bringing you right. Bishop Moyana, you were speaking earlier before you got interrupted, but let me just go back to Isaac McComish, because he was mentioned a lot by Wendas, and I think the Sister Campbell as well did mention your name. So Isaac McComish, you are still with us. Thank you very much for your submission. What do you have to say from what people have said so far? Please go ahead.
Yeah, ndomuzisa zvinotaurwa nevanhu, but iro bhaibheri tikaenda kuna Romans chapter 13 verse 1, kana une bhaibheri rako, you can just take a look, Romans 13 verse 1. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authority that exists has been established by God. Saka bhaibheri rangu niri kunditaurira kuti utungamiri huripo ndo hwatinofanirwa kunge tichiita sei, tichitevedzera, nekuti hwakaiswa naMwari. Saka ndonzwisisa hangu kuti tosangana nemataxi akawanda, vanenge vachiti hey, hausipasa uri pasa wenhema, because vanhu vamuri kutaurira ava muri kudi kuvataurira.
Sorry again. Sorry, Isaac. Bishop Kevin, can you please mute your mic? Mute your mic. Press that button, Bishop Kevin, so that you can be able to hear properly what Isaac McComish is saying. Right. So, Isaac, how should I address you? Should I address you as a pastor or what?
Yeah, even just like it's Isaac, like even just like Comrade Isaac McComish.
Okay, Comrade Isaac McComish. Okay, so Comrade Isaac McComish, please go ahead. Sorry for that. Bishop Kevin's mic was on. Thank you. Go ahead.
Ndandichiti nini ukaenda mubhaibheri ndaverenga Romans 13 verse 1 yanga ichitaura kuti all the leaders that we have now akaestablishwa naMwari, saka we have to follow them, to listen to them. And one other thing chandoda kupindura vanhu kuti vazive, hatisi tese mapastors tine mukana wekuti titaurire maleaders aya our points of view. Unoziva here kuti unogona kunge uchitori neidea inotobatsira, but once wangoda kuti waitaura, they will start to ask each other kuti who is this guy, aya ihama yake, toteerera here zvaanotaura. Once you don't have a relative, once you are not known by someone, it is very difficult for us pastors to take a contribution. The only pastors wanokwanisa kuita contribution to those top brasses, they are the ones who are very close kwavari, vane vanhu vakawandisa, vane mari dzakawanda, they are the ones vanoteerera. It's also just like my ordinary pastors amunoona muchititsamwira. Ndanzwa kwega ndakatorwa nauzveshuwa bhaibheri zvakachitaura kuti zvakadai, but Romans 13 verse 1 yandoverenga inotaura kuti kana idiari ari pachigaro, I just have to support him because akaiswa naMwari. Saka we cannot substitute this whole verse tikiti ano kuti tizosuta zviri kudiwa nevanhu ndikatise yakati. And the other thing, akusi PF chete kune vanhu opposition, we have bad guys, we have also thieves in opposition, you know that. We have also power hungry in opposition, you know that. I do agree 100% kuti Triple C yailidwa naAdvocate Chamisa, but chakaitika opposition, they are power hungry. Saka bad people avaonekwi kuZANU-PF chete, and ZANU-PF haigoni kuita vanhu vari holy chete, because remember we are people from different tribes. Saka ndinongopindura ipapo, but thank you nekupa opportunity kuti ndipindure ipapo kuti no, mavhesi ati ari kuda kunokombaina chakanga ari 50. I'm going to remain a ZANU-PF because Romans 13 verse 1 inondipa mvumo yekusapota his excellency iti munakako zvataura zvekuti vanenge vasina kuvhotegwa vanoti vakati aya maonero ake ini maonero angu nemafungira angu. I believe kuti because I voted for him, so I believe that he was elected and aga win the election. That's what I do believe in. Then position but no, then because the guy put but no Isaac urukutadza hausoda kungofumura hapa but vakuru vari kuratidza kuti pane kukwesherana kuri kuitika. Dziya politics guys now to muzive adzisi the way yamene muchiona kunge zviri. And remember one thing chatoda kuudza, you have to give ZANU-PF a credit because even the opposition media they are only following us the ZANU-PF, the ruling party. So that one is politics. We've been in this game for a long time.
Yes, somebody's talking. You may need to drop and request again and come up. Somebody's talking. Okay, Isaac Makomichi, prepare to land there because they don't want to engage with you.
Hear anybody?
Yes. Who is that? Who is asking me the question? Because who is asking me the question? I'm trying to figure out who it is. They need to drop, and they need to come up. Is it Muzi?
No, it's not me.
Okay. Can somebody figure out who is talking, who is asking me that question? Because they need to drop. Whomsoever is asking me that question, you may need to drop and then come back again because the problem is on your side, not on our side. Isaac Makomichi, please go ahead and prepare to land because many people, there are so many requests, they want to engage with you. So yes, make your responses a bit brief so that people can continue to engage with you. And we appreciate the fact that you are with us. And we want to just move with more speakers so that you can hear what they think about this topic. Okay, Isaac Makomichi, go ahead.
Second, in brief, ZANU-PF is winning. Why are all the media houses, everyone in this country are more focused about ZANU-PF. This is to say it's a winning party. So for me, this ndoenda kumwe party ndakagurira ZANU-PF and ndina party yandokwanisa kuenda because ndetona chero opposition simba chaiye chikanza totoziva kuti munhu opposition 100% but ndakahwama wachipakiza kuti munhu weZANU. Saka tini ndizoti ndakuda kubva inini kuZANU-PF ndichienda kwekuti munhu weopposition wandinoziva kuti munhu wachamisa ndowakuatakiwa nevamwe vake vachiti uyu munhu weZANU hazvizobudi. Saka ndopanongozozokera kuvhesi yangu yayomubhaibheri kune vese vakateerera kuti ipapo ndikandapedza napo. Romans 13 verse 1 inonditaurira kuti tinofanirwa kuremekedza nekukoshesa nekuteerera utungamiri huripo nekuti hakuna umwe mutungamiri anokwanisa kutungamira kana asina kugadzwa naMwari. Vaingoda kuti idi asatonga akadai asina kutonga. Ndo mhinduro yangu kune mavhesisi ataurwa ndendada kuadhirisa pakuti vaya vanga vaiti hausi kuda kufukura hapo vakuru vari kukonana vakuru havasi kukonana but remember it is not idi aiimba kutitengesa unangire kuti pandichera mwena. It was not idi, remember. Vanga vachingoriwo vamwe vanhu vanotori nemaagendas avo, otherwise those guys vaitotsvaka mari yedoro kana mari yerendi kana vanga vatoiswa something. Iye mavetera akanga achivatungamira handizivi kuti aizviitirei but ndichinzwa vamwe vanhu vachara vaiti kwai aimbira vanhu opposition. Of course I know kuti it's a shame kuti you can sing that song national shrine ipapo apa and ndikutokupavanza. It's a shame, especially in front of the VP, the whole VP, the well-decorated general. You can't sing such a song. But it was not Idi Aimba that song. So you cannot say, no, it is now attacking Chiwenga. Chiwenga is now attacking Idi. No. Between the two, the VP and the president, all
right. So Isaac, you can hang on a bit so people can engage with you, right? Okay, thank you. So let me just briefly go back to Bishop Emmanuel Moyana because he fell off earlier with network issues. So Bishop Moyana, you were making your submission, but at the same time, we're talking here about what the VP Chiwenga actually said and the meaning of the words. What were the meaning, of those words? What did they mean to you? What do you think they mean to Zimbabwe? Because according to Isaac, he's saying that those were good words, loaded with a lot of meaning. The fact that the president was elected by the people, and it is only the people that when they stand, they can be able, that he should address. He should address the people when it comes to the issue of 2030. And it is the people that must decide on the way forward. So in other words, he doesn't want to step in without the people. Do you agree with that sentiment? What is your take on that?
Okay, thank you so much, Hulu. Like I was saying earlier on before I went off the network, you see, I'm surprised about what Makomich is saying. I'm really surprised, and I don't understand where he's getting all this information from. You see, Chiwenga is not stupid. That guy is very intelligent. This I can rest assure you. And it's not the first time we're experiencing this in Zimbabwe. Remember, there was a time when Grace Mugabe used to demonize Mnangagwa in front of the public. He would demonize Kaukonde, he would demonize Kazembe, calling them in front, shaming them in front of the president. And those guys, they never said anything. But today, look what happened in 2017. These guys, they had to come back strong. Mnangagwa became the president. Kazembe is a minister. Kaukonde just fell wayside. But most of these guys were being demonized. They all came back during the time of Mnangagwa. So whatever is happening right now is a repeat of what happened in 2017. And trust me, you see, I'm not speaking as a prophet, but I'm being factual here to tell you that where we are right now, what's happening in ZANU-PF right now, we are almost at the edge of seeing another lightning blowing within the party. And shortly, people will begin to understand where these guys are with their differences and their divisions. It's massive. It's deep. And, no one can run away from that. What Komich is saying to say the president, he was elected by the people, and the Bible says in Romans 18, you have to adhere to whatever the president, that's where he quoted. You see, when God elects leaders, Saul was also a leader in the Bible, but he was not elected by God. People elected him. That's why God disowned him. So it's not every leader who is in power today has been allowed by God to be where they are right now. There are also those who are allowed by the devil to rule over people. And at the end of the day, things didn't end well. So, you see, let's not try and use scriptures to manipulate people or to suit what we want. We need to understand one thing here, that, Mnangagwa was elected by the people. That is very true. And his term ends in 2028. And if he wants to go beyond that, he will not succeed. And by declaring or by people trying to advocate for him to continue to 2030, it's a very big mistake. Because you see, when people wanted Mugabe to become the lifetime president, that's when he lost power, because people knew that it was going beyond reasonable doubts. So this is what we're going to experience in ZANU-PF. And I want to rest assure you that as much as people think that ZANU-PF is in power because people, they love it, no, it's not true. A lot of manipulation has been going on, vote rigging, people being killed and butchered. We all know about that. And let us not act as if we are people who doesn't how this in Zimbabwe works. In Zimbabwe, there's a lot of intimidation, there's a lot of harassment, there's a lot of things that are being done to make sure people, they are silenced. And we cannot continue to let our voices die without having to say things the right way. For me, I will speak like an individual, like I'm saying here, to say, you know what, Mnangagwa must step down. That's if he gets to 2028 goes, that's where people have elected him to end his second term of office. Anything beyond that is not acceptable. The people of Zimbabwe that committee is talking about, we are also Zimbabweans. We did not vote for Mnangagwa. There are those that voted for him. And we are saying, let us follow the constitution. I remember, if you have listened to one of his messages that he gave recently towards the end of last day, he said, if you want to become a president in Zimbabwe, you have to do two things that I've done myself. He said, number one, I was 18 years, I was below 18 years, and I was sentenced to death. But fortunately, I was not killed because I was underage. So you have to pass that test as well if you want to become a president. Then he said, secondly, I was poisoned. And for 3 days, I was unconscious. And you will have to eat poison as well and remain unconscious for 3 days for you to become the president. And he was saying, anyone who wants this position must go through that. And I was asking myself, what is the meaning of this sentiment? That shows you that, you know what, there is a lot that is going on in ZANU-PF that is not being addressed. People are using intimidation. People are using divide and rule. People, they are using all sorts of weapons to make sure that they silence people for this agenda of 2030 to go through. But trust me, the conference that took place in Bulawayo last year, October, for ZANU-PF, it was a party Congress that they had, and that's where they agreed that Mnangagwa should rule until 2030. It was not a national conference that was including every other Zimbabwean. And if they want to apply that, it has to be inclusive, not only ZANU-PF members. Because now what they are using the issue of numbers in parliament to say ZANU-PF has got majority. If they go to vote, they will obviously win and they will implement that. That's why Shabangu had to make sure that he chases away all possible members through, during the time of Chamisa Triple C, so that he can fit in members of ZANU-PF on those reruns who won the elections after they lost in the first round. So today we have a system that has been manipulated from the day the elections were held in 2023. And these are the same people now that they've got majority in parliament, and they are using that as a force. Remember, this thing was not planned today. And there are people like the VP who have always been against the idea of ZANU-PF having to go beyond 2030. So whatever Chiwenga is saying, he's trying to manage the situation, because right now he's not even safe himself as well. So trust me, whatever is happening, just focus.
Yeah, right, Bishop Moyana. I think that is a very good, argument and viewpoint. Considering what Isaac McComish was saying, giving us a very good discussion there. Briefly, before I go to the next speaker, Bishop Moyana, there are people who say that in 2017, the President Idi Mnangagwa was not even at that time when he ran out of Zimbabwe, and then everybody knows the role of General Chiwenga. That General Chiwenga played a critical role in bringing about the Second Republic, and many people are saying he made a mistake by fighting for another man to become the president, when he himself had all the opportunity to actually become the leader. And now, as things are boiling up in this manner, he might make another mistake of cutting a deal with the president and being played again. Do you buy into that? Briefly, before I go to the next speaker, do you understand what I'm talking about? And do you go along those lines? And what is your take on that?
I don't think he's going to buy into anything here. Like I said, is that okay?
Your line has started breaking again.
Your line has started to play games again, Bishop Emmanuel Moyana of Emmanuel Global Church. We cannot hear you now, Bishop Moyana. You will need to fix your network now. If you can hear me, you need to fix your network. We can hardly hear you now. Bishop Moyana, try to speak again. Let's hear. No, it's not working, Bishop Moyana. Please fix your network again and come back, and you will be able to answer that question. But let me move with the other speakers. So Bishop Moyana, if you can hear me, we are struggling to hear you. Your line is very poor at the moment, and you can listen up to the other speakers, and you can come back again, and maybe you can drop to the listeners and request again, and then I'll be giving you a mic. All right, let me just move to Marvin Keith before I go to Muzi. Right, Marvin Keith. That's what I see here on my. You have been listening to Isaac McComish and now to Bishop Emmanuel Moyana. And do you think that this revolution is likely going to pit the president against his deputy, or it is the revolution of Zimbabweans? And if the deputy is not ready, then somebody else will step in. What is your take?
All right. Allow me to say this. It's unfortunate, so unfortunate that we identify ourselves politically the same way that we identify ourselves like football supporters, whereby one says I'm for ZANU because I was born there, my parents were born there. No articulation of policy, no there's no reason for you to support the ZANU-PF and say because they do A, B, C, D, I follow their policies like this, but you identify because your parents were part and parcel of that political party. So it's unfortunate. That's how we choose political parties in Zimbabwe. And the unfortunate thing again is we seem to be a people who do not learn from the past mistakes that we have made. 2017, we found ourselves in the same mess, where the same message was spread, resonating with what the people were going through: hardships, poverty, political oppression. Then obviously the people were allowed to go into the streets, and we all know what happened. Mugabe was toppled, Mnangagwa was enthroned as the new president. Now here comes Geza, does the same message, does everything. Obviously all fingers are pointing to Chiwenga, that he is supposed to be the next president, so to say. But my question then comes in and asks, are we changing for the good, or we are recycling the same leaders with the same kind of behavior, same way that they conduct their political business? They disrespect the constitution, in a way that is, you cannot imagine. We are so anti-constitutional to a level that if you really read our constitution, what is practiced, you can see that there are two worlds apart. So in as much as people would advocate for Chiwenga and what, we are recycling the same junk. We are recycling the same people. Like I told last time, I put the sentiment that if you go and listen to Geza's interview before this one, these two that went viral, he was interviewed by the same journalist. I'm sure it was 3-4 months ago, when he was asked by the 2030, when it was still gathering, and the president was saying, I'm not going to 2030, I'm going to step down in 2028. He then said to himself that 2028 is you see, the issue is they just want to get their feel. Like they feel like others have taken whatever they've taken, is also our turn. So the point is it a revolutionary thing that involves the people? Is the revolution for the people? Or we are just being told we are revolutionary just to exchange people whom we know that these people are just going to come in turns and partake or take whatever they can take? Geza is a well-known person who has been involved in a lot of corruption. Talk of Chiazwa. People know that he was in charge of the tender on behalf of the war veterans. He definitely looted the diamonds and misused the money. And even his ZANU-PF colleagues are saying now he's wrong. Now he's pointing fingers. So if we have got people who do not have the mouth that articulates policy, what is it that you want to do when you get the power? What is it that we want to achieve by exchanging Mnangagwa with another person who is a ZANU-PF person? You will see that the answer is there is nothing ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is plunged into a leadership crisis. Even on my post on my Twitter account, I posted this 4 years ago when I saw the way they attack young people. They have plunged into a leadership crisis. And these Madala who are pushing for 2028, they know that if Mnangagwa is out, they are out. And also, if you are to look at the constitutional crisis that we actually have, that we have a constitution that is very sound, but not adhered to. They don't follow the constitution, but rather they've got other things that they begin to do. Like this kind of disrespect. Why do you want an extension of power 2 years more? Well, that you failed to do it. Yeah. Because you took Mugabe's.
All right, Marvin Keith, thank you very much. We do have a lot of speakers, and I would need to also be going back to the host for an analysis as he's listening carefully to all your submissions. And Isaac Makomichi, our guest, is still with us, and we need to respect his time as well. So Marvin Keith, thank you very much for your submission. Let me just run two speakers, and I'm going to the host to give an analysis of the situation as he sees at the moment. And then, so it has not just gone past 21:24, that is 24 minutes past 9 in Harare. And it is almost the same also at 24 minutes past 9 p.m. in the city of Bulawayo. And we want to welcome you all to Zimai Space, and the discussion continues. What is it? The VP saying the president must address the nation. This could mean clearly that there is an unfolding revolution in Zimbabwe.
Sorry, Hulu, if I may interrupt, we've got breaking news, yeah?
Yes.
We've got a breaking news item relating to what we're talking about right now. And with your permission, I would like to play it. I'm hoping that it can be heard. If not, then I would need to put it into the studio so it can be louder. But let me know if you can hear in 5 seconds.
The West Provincial Coordinating Committee has unanimously agreed to expel war veteran Comrade Blessed Geza from the party. This was disclosed by ZANU-PF Politburo member Comrade Ziambi, who also said the Presidium is solid and united.
I second that Comrade Geza inesu kumsifu kutwasiye chigaro chedu chesendro community vasunga avo kufamba vachita basa ravo sinini musangano weZANU-PF.
The ZANU-PF Mashonaland West Provincial Coordinating Committee met in Chinoi this Wednesday, where a resolution was passed to expel renegade war veteran Comrade Blessed Geza from the party. ZANU-PF Politburo member Comrade Ziambi warned party members of disciplinary if they violate the party's constitution.
Kana pane munhu anoda president Mnangagwa kudarika imese muri panapa ndachiwenga. Ende handisandambovanzwa vachitaura kuti handidi Mnangagwa. Kwewo wakuzovaritaurira Juwani. Kana pane umwe anoda futi vaMnangagwa kudarika vamwe seDamohati havasiyani. Iri constitution iri kutaura kuti kuyefe duty yekurespect our leadership from cell up to the top.
ZANU-PF Mashonaland West Provincial Chairperson Comrade Mary Mliswa Chipoka also disclosed that they have agreed to expel Comrade Geza from the party, while National Deputy Political Commissar Comrade Webster Shamu implored party members to abide by the constitution.
When the president of the Republic of Zimbabwe, President Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, kuti murai muoffice. Yatochizo nge.
Hatina kitu chekari nemuona munhu achita mamistake mupati. Ndikakuona uchita mamistake, ndinokudzora ipapo.
The unanimous resolution to expel Comrade Geza comes after he denigrated President Emerson Mnangagwa and criticized the party's resolutions adopted at the ZANU-PF Annual National People's Conference held in Bulawayo last year. Chamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chinoi.
He reminded that the president is the only one elected by the whole nation as a constituent. In other words, he is the only person in the country elected by the entire country grouped as one constituent. All of us, we have our great importance before constituencies. He reminded
Comrades, message yataurwa naVP Chiwenga yekuti president is the only one akaelectiwa yatotaura chimwe chinhu chandoda kuti unzwisise. One, varatidza kukoshesa constitution, bumbiro remutemo, because remember, unoenda ku-election chete nekuda kwe-constitution. Pavati vakavhotegwa neZimbabwe nevana veZimbabwe, vazama kutaura kuti president kuti vange vakagara paya paya, hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka kuti vange vakagara paya paya, hakusi kuda kwavo ivo, kuda kwevana veZimbabwe. Saka whatever chinofanira nge chichiitika kumberi chinofanira nge chichinvolva vana veZimbabwe vachitendera uye chichitenderwa neconstitution. Wapanzwisisa? Vanhu vaya vari kuti VP Chiwenga vari kuisa zvimaklipi zvatiri kuona muno magrupu ati VP Chiwenga vaindoza kuti president wararika 2030 inema. Tererai nenzeve dzechimurenga muchanzwa clear message. Paipa pavati isusu vamwe vese vari panapa vachizama kutaridza kuti vamwe vese vari paipa havana basa bhoza vana kuelektiwa. Vari kuzama kutaura kuti kana agenda yekuti president vadarikire vachida, is the only one anokwanisa kutaura kuti ndiri kukumbira kuti mundisvitse 2030, of which tinoziva kuti president vakati havasi kuda. Saka musabvume kuti chizvidhio chispiniwa. This is Comrade Isaac Makomichi. Ward 5 masvingo eben. Ndakambenge ndiri PC pandakazodzingwa hangu chibvunza nyaya dze2030 dzinobenefita inini rikazobenefita mbavha chete nevanhu vashoma.
Right, here we go. I had to play both of them so that we have context, because I think now we have full context, right, of what Chiwenga. It seems to the two videos seem to connect.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Simai. And Isaac Makomichi, who was speaking on that recording, is with us, our guest today. And thank you very much, Isaac Comrade Makomichi, for sticking around. I'm just going to go to the other speakers so that we can just hear what they have to say, because I think that is what Zimbabweans would want to hear. They want to hear from a diverse view of people across the country. Wise up. Welcome to Zimai Space. How are you today?
Thank you, Brother Wulo. I'm very well, thank you. Greetings.
Please go ahead.
Greetings. Thank you. Brother Wulo, I want to engage with the two men of cloth here. I want to engage with Isaac and Bishop Emmanuel. I just want to ask them their take on liberation theology of liberation, which underscores the need to for the church to be on the side of the oppressed, which underscores the need for the church to look at how it can transform the nation for the betterment of the poor. Because at the core of liberation theology is that poverty is a sin against humanity, and the church has got a responsibility to do everything possible to remove the chains and the shackles of oppression and all those agencies that are responsible for the suffering of the people. And liberation theology talks about the church being on the side of the poor, the church being on the side of the downtrodden and underprivileged. So when I hear my brother Isaac glorifying the powerful at the expense of the poor, my heart sank, and I just wanted to find out, or just want to engage him really on this aspect of, because he's a man of cloth, and I presume he did study liberation, he did study theology. So I just want to ask him really his view on liberation theology, and also Bishop Emmanuel as well, because I think what has been lacking in Zimbabwe is the gospel of liberation. You know, all the so-called men of cloth, unfortunately, they've forgotten the poor. They've been on the side of the rich. They've become like what you call in the biblical time the Pharisees. They are now the Pharisees of the modern day. They forget about that their mission is to save humanity. Their mission is actually to change this, like what Jesus Christ himself, when he came on the earth, his mission was to change the status quo for the benefit of humanity. So I want to engage Brother Isaac and Bishop Emmanuel on this aspect. Thank you.
All right, thank you. we will be giving them an opportunity to respond to you, but we just need to listen up to the other speakers, and then Comrade Isaac Makomishi will be responding to you. Let me just go to Mabizela. Mabizela, welcome to the space. How are you today? Mabizela, are you able to speak? Because I've got requests, so I will drop you to the listeners and I'm going to bring new speakers up. So Mabizela, I can't hear you. So let me see if I can manage to speak to Trinity. Trinity, are you there? Trinity, are you able to speak? No. All right. The networks, people's network today is playing games. Many people are sending me messages and telling me that they're trying to speak, but they are unable to do so. Please fix your networks, guys, and we can be able to hear you. Let me see if I go to, Bon Wild. Bon Wild, are you able to speak? Yeah, the network is giving problems to our speakers today. Sam Harvell, are you there?
Oh yes, my brother Ulu, how are you?
I'm all right, Sam Harvell, long time. Welcome to Zimai Space, and we, of course, in conversation with Isaac Makomishi and fellow Zimbabweans, Africans, and people of the world are listening to you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, my brother. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks to Zima as well, and greetings to all the speakers and our guests, as well as the listeners. Right, I will start by addressing Kuti. Please, let's not use the Holy Scriptures to manipulate or even to intimidate. And I'm addressing my brother who was saying Kuti is sticking to Romans 13 verse 1. But I will help you also with Scripture as well. If you read Proverbs 29 from verse 1 and verse 2, it reads, when a righteous leader is in power, the people rejoice. And when a wicked man beareth rule, the nation mourns. So when they see that the one who is risen to power is wicked. And then, only to our convenience, because the very same men you want to protect using scriptures is the very same men akabisa mumwe leader achitaura kuti hanzi operation restore legacy, achitaura kuti akada kugadzirisa zvinhu zvakaitwa naMwari. Why didn't he then let God fix the issue of Robert Mugabe, let it in the hands of Robert Mugabe? If we so believe that vatungamiri vanogadzwa naMwari, why did he take it upon his own hands and his comrades to restore legacy munyika ine mutungamiri akagadzikwa naMwari? Saka please, tisatombotaure mashoko aya atitode kumanzwa. Sorry to say this, I'm doing it without fear, because you cannot stop people to do what you are actually doing. And then it goes both ways. Maybe you are forgetting. Even those who are put 2030 vamunangagwa vanofanira kunge vachipo vanofanira kugwa vatonyarara zvachose, because kana zviri zvaMwari hatinyararidze one side, because kana zviri mumaoko aMwari nobody should say Mnangagwa should be there. We should let it to God. So isusu vanoti havafanira kunge varipo nevanoti vanofanira kunge varipo, kana mati toita zvaProverbs 13 tese ngatinyarare, otherwise this meeting can be called off, right? Ndokungokuonesaiwo kuti please don't manipulate scriptures only to your convenience. And then ndodazongounzawo one last thing about this whole issue. Maybe vanhu muri kuona one side, it's okay, I understand, but here is my opinion now, and I've been meditating upon this. Maybe ZANU-PF has grown so much in intelligence to a point that they will play it in a way inonakidza imimi, like kadrama kanenge kagadzirwa. It could be they've now find a new way of bringing new leaders into power. Izvinogona kunge iri a written script iri kutoitika into play, because all I see is a repeat of 2017 events, kuti vakungoburitsana nekanenge kakunetsana kudai so, but at the end we still remain with the same. So it could be a way of this event, but in the end, and then they are exonerated. But they carry on and continue with power, because the actual way they now know that they no longer popular in that regard if we speak of elections. Hence, when it's time of elections, you see ZANU-PF doesn't do much to campaign, but they do much to de-campaign the competitors. You know, back in the day, they would be campaigning, making promises, but now they ran out of ideas because they haven't really been living up to their word. So now all they are left with is to decampaign their competitors and then maybe to come up with schemes to just maybe remain in power. So these are people who do anything to consolidate power. And I think what is happening right now, what is at play, all these factions, so-called factions, is just a written script in all costs, just for them to consolidate power, to retain power come what, either 2028 or 2020 or 2030. Many thanks, Will.
All right, thank you very much, for Isaac McCormick is still with us. For those who are just joining us, this is my space. Isaac McCormick is speaking from Masvingo, and that is the audio that was picked up by Zimai. Isaac McCormick, as you respond, I hope you make notes to people who were firing some questions at you. But then, Isaac, in terms of this revolution is supposed to be for the people, not for the VP Chiwenga. So if VP Chiwenga is not ready, Ignatius, can you mute your mic, please? Can you mute your mic, Ignatius? Right. So Isaac McCormick, like I asked, Bishop Moyana earlier, if some people would argue that if the VP is not ready to take over power, somebody else is going to rise, because nobody can stop a revolution whose time has come. What do you say about that?
Chekutanga chandokwanisa kutaura zvangu ndisingadi kuwanzirai vamwe vangu ndechekuti nobody knows kuti chii chichaitika tomorrow. Saka to talk of 2028 or 2030, it is more like a man or a common dream or a common desire ya someone kuti I wish this and that kuti zvaitika. Ndichida kuresponda hangu pane vaise vanga vachitaura, ndachita take note nezvavanga vachitaurawo. Uyo ataura achiti chechi inofanira kunge iri kusaidi revari kudzinyirirwa, zveshuwa mascriptures anodaro. Ataura futi achiti kana mutungamiri akashata achitonga vanhu vanochema, kana akanaka achitonga vanhu vanofara. Izvi ichokwadi, mascriptures anodaro. But chaveko ndechekuti inini maonero angu ndiri kuona here sekuti mutungamiri aripo akashata. Maonero angu anenge achiti no. Kana tati isusu ngatingovai nematauriro akafanana. Inini ndikatarisa zvimwe zvinhu, rega ndikukuudzai another experience ndakamboita privilege yekuenda kuma-European countries akati one day. At one point ndakamboenda pane chimwe chikoleji chiri padhuze paSouth Africa pekuti mablacks tofunga tiri 3. Rusaro raganda wataisafa ipapo. Unoziva here kuti papa netoilet yekuti waiti ukapinda uchisvika waiwana security kuti the toilet is busy. But once wada kuenda kune imwe toilet inenge yakadhaka unonzi kune imwe ndo yatata kuenda mablacks tangoziva kuti isusu tiri 3 tunoenda uko. Saka inini zvangu ndakatarisa according to my experience nezvandaona, ndoona kuti ZANU-PF ine leadership yaHis Excellency idimu rangagwana VP Chiwenga neutungamiri hweZANU-PF. Ndoona kunge it is the party, kana kuti not it is the party yatakapiwa naMwari. Because remember, ichi chinamato ichi chinoti tinofanika, ukatoverenga bhaibheri rinoti Abraham akazara nhingi, nhingi akazara nhingi, nhingi akazadugara kwakati, chinorondedzera marudzi nemarudzi kwaakabva. Saka inini handizokanganwi futi kuti Black Friday, yamuti Black Friday munotenga hembe, ndovana sekuru vedu aitengeswa pamaketi nevarungu. saka ZANU-PF yazouya kana kuti Chimurenga chazouya ndo vachatisunungura. Ndoda kuuza mupindura kuna vangati no mapastor's anofanira kunge achita zvakati achita zvakati. Totarisa the other side. Hama dzedu dziri kugara kune dzimwe nyika izvi vari kuAmerica izvi vanokwanisa kufuma kunga Trump dzokera ibvai. Vari kugara kana inda kuna vanhu vari kuDubai unzwa kuti vakapinda mutreni chaimo unzwa kuti vanhu vanotoenda kure newe vanenge vachiita mhino zvauri. Saka all those things zvezviitika zviteti chizvionawo but tine different opinions. Zvino hazvizonaki hazvo kunaka 100% zvinotoshata, but I still believe kuti ZANU-PF ibato rakafumwa naMwari pachavo vakafemera vanhu. I still believe kuti ED is the right leader. I still believe that Chiwenga is going to take over. No matter zvaitika nenzira ipi, chiro zvakanzi president wasvika 2030 kana 28, I still believe and I still love kuti VP Chiwenga vagoita take over. It's not a secret. Saka zvinhu zvitatu zvandataura kuti ZANU-PF ibato rakafumwa naMwari, I believe in that 100%. Kuti ED, His Excellency ED Mnangagwa vakaiswa naMwari, I believe in that 100%. Kuti VP Chiwenga vanofanirwa kuita take over, I believe in that 100%. And the other thing chandinoda kuti muzive, I'm not part of those vari kuti President ngavasvike 2030. I'm also against it. Why ndiri against that? Ndiri kuziva kuti kana president chida kuti vafite mumagwaro angu, vanofanirwa kufulfilla first zvavakatanga vaita sei vavimbisa. It's only kuti mimi mazungo terera paside ndongoti munhu wezanu atoshata mototi aiwo unofanirwa kunge uchidai. But remember inini I was also fired from the party nekuda kwenyaya yekuti ndakanga ndabvunza kuti is this thing going to benefit inini nemhuri yangu or is it going to benefit some other people? Ndida kutaurira chokwadi ndisingadi kuvanzira. One day ndakaenda kumasviku General Hospital apa ndemwana wangu adaunotorwa scan tikanzi film hapana. It was said. Ukaenda paclinic izvi kana papi unenge uchinzwa kuti zvese zvakaoma. Saka I was like, guys, my comrades, why totadza kuti tarega kudivert attention yapresident? Because now pandachitipa pavanga vachitaura kuti maprovincial ministers ndeyamunofocus nedevelopment, ndeyamuita zvinhu zvisingadi development zvinyaradzwa. Inyaya yekuti vanhu vave in mode yesuccession. It's too early kutaura zva2028 kana 2030. Ndoya vanhu ava vasina kubringa their topic yekuti president ngavadai. Otherwise now tingadai chitoti saka zigira zoita sei, toita sei, tingadai chitoti saka mwana wake vari kuvhara toita sei. But now kuti bring an argument, constructive argument, as long as usina kutanga waita slogan ye2030 vanobva kuti kulebhula kuti uyu atove mutengesi, uyu atove mupaduki. Who are these people? If you have a who, then later on you can have a why. Saka who are these people? They're the ones vari kushedzera kuti 2030. Chandoda kuudza ndechekuti vanhu mastreets, they are against this whole thing. Ipapo handipavanzi, it's not a secret. But chanisiri kuziva ndechekuti the message iri kusvika here kuna ivo mukuru vakaelektiwa. Imati vamwe wenyu hamubelieve kuti vakavhoterwa. Ini I do believe because ndakavavhotera. Handizozivi kuti clear message yechokwadi iri kusvika here kuti no, vanhu havasi kuti vanokuvengai, but vanhu vari kuti mimi chimbomirai zvokuda kuextenda power. Chimboitai zvokuti kana ndikaendawo pachipatara apo ndokwanisa kuwanawo ndikanzi panda mapiritsi akati kana ndisina mari ndokwanisa kurapiwa ndikatoita sei ndikapora. Ndikatoendawo pakati apo chero ndisingazikamwe ndisiri hama yanhingi tokwanisa kutowanawo mukana. And you know one thing, chandogara pane ndakuda kupindura vanga vachiti makomichi mapasta mufanirwa kugara muchitaura leadership kuti dei adai. Do you know kuti ndine one thing chinondinetsa kubva 28 chandiri kushawa mukana wekuti how do I address the president or the office of the president? Nguva yaRobert Mugabe taiziva ma-opposition people vanga vari in business vachitoemploya vanhu vakawanda. But now it's very difficult kuti even uri munhu wemusangano kana usina kuti 2030 uwane a connection yekuita something. It is very difficult kuti munhu weopposition anzi ari kuita something chichitofamba. Akada kungoita chimwe chinhu kana uri munhu ari kuti noenda handi 2030 ndongoda president handi 2030 kana kuti unongochiti munhu anenge aidzi munhu weopposition. It seems like my opportunities are very limited. Saka titoriwo nemubvunzo yatinayo. Seyandiri kutaura iyo ndofunga mese muri kunzwisa, you do agree kuti nguva yaMugabe tatori nevanhu vataiziva kuti ava vanhu veopposition vatori nemakambani zine mabusiness mahombe. Hatingokwanisi here kuti the ruling party kana kuti the system iripo, the new dispensation ingoti these opportunities anenge ari fair and equal to everyone. despite kuti vari kuti 2030 here kana kuti vari kuti 2028 kana kuti ari kusaidi ripo kana zvave zvekubuilda nyika handiti ndongoti munhu wese anofanira kunge ane fair opportunity kwete kuti ndikatoda kuvhura bhekari kana ndikatoda kuwana mai ndofanirwa nditanga waenda ndikuna minista vaya vakanzi handinhingi uyo ndio opposition kana kuti ndimakomichi vaya ndio vaya vatakadzinga za 2030 ndei zviro zvako zvakutanga kutovhara zvakutanga kutostaka. We also have
Isaac, questions. Isaac, hang on that because we have got a lot of speakers that would want to engage with you and make a contribution. So that was a very, very, very good point that you have made. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you have heard what he's saying. He's talking about think about it. If you are a member of the opposition today in the Second Republic, it is becoming very difficult for you to run any business without associating with ZANU-PF, and that is something that is said. That is something that we do not want. Bishop Emmanuel Moyana is still with us, but his network is playing games. Bishop Moyana, if you can hear me, it would be good if you can continue requesting and stabilize your network so we can be able to hear from you. And this, of course, is Zimai Space running. And thank you for following Zimai and listening to the news as they come from the four corners of our country, Zimbabwe. Best, please go ahead.
Am I audible, please?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Zimai, my brother Simba Chikanza, and always my best friend.